Hey, welcome back. My name is Qori, and today we're going to explore some tools in Photoshop on the web. I don't know about you all, but in my seasons of opportunity, I have been asked for my headshot a couple of times and have been unprepared, unsurprisingly. Getting headshots and keeping them updated can fly under the radar for some, but with Photoshop on the web, we can easily DIY something that will work just as well. So today we'll spend a few minutes turning photos from this to this, using Photoshop on the web. My first instinct when it came to DIY headshots was to go ahead and just get some quick photos of myself and my apartment. I found the only blank wall that I have in here and I got to work. Now my lighting isn't great, I don't have hair and makeup, and I don't have an official backdrop, but I can work with what I got. After multiple attempts, I did find a photo that I think I can work with. I'm dropping that into Photoshop on the web and I'm going to crop it. I prefer to use a portrait dimension, but that's totally up to you. The crop tool does have pre-selected dimensions for you to choose from, so you don't have to do too much guessing. The first thing I want to adjust in my photo is the background. I would love to clean it up. So I'm going to use generative fill to go ahead and find a background that looks better. To do so, I'm making a selection of my background and using the contextual taskbar that is available on your browser. I can adjust my selection as needed and go ahead and type in a prompt that I think will work. With generative fill, I can regenerate as many times as I want until I find what I'm looking for. While the background may be what's most important to a lot of people, what's really important to me is fixing those imperfections. I cannot help it. Continuing with generative fill, I'm going to select and use my prompts to change my hairstyle a little bit and add some jewelry. When using generative fill, it's important that you pay attention to the types of prompts that you're putting in and really experiment, because there are endless possibilities to what you can create with this. I definitely lost track of how many prompts I use, but it's okay. It's kind of like shopping. I'm gonna get what I want in the end. Having this tool directly accessible in my browser made this process fairly simple. The creative freedom is mine. To finish up with my hair, I'm using the remove tool to get rid of any flyaways that I had. Next, in our toolbar, we're opening up the retouch tools, and I'm using both the spot healing brush and the dodge tool. The spot healing brush I'm using in a similar way that I would use the remove tool, but I am using this one for very small imperfections that I would like to adjust in context to what is directly surrounding it. And with the dodge tool, which is meant to lighten any part of your photo, I am of course going to give myself a little teeth whitening. Why not? Now I'm enjoying how this headshot is coming to life, and then I realized I already have photos of myself that I really like that I wish could be my headshot, so I wonder what I can do with those. Using the power of these same tools, I am taking a busier photo, a photo that was not at all meant to ever be a headshot, and I'm going to try to get a similar, if not better, result. I'm uploading a different photo, and as you can see, it does have a lot more going on than the one that I just took. It appears I have a lot more to edit, but I'm actually confident in how this can turn out. Once again, I am going to go ahead and crop so that we're only focused on me. And of course, the background does look super busy, but we have what we need to get rid of that quickly. As I'm preparing to use the select tool in order to select the background and then go into generative fill, I do want to note that you can select only parts of the background. So if I wanted to leave those buildings there, I could, but in this instance, I'm just going to choose not to. But it's great to have the option. Generative fill allowed me to completely remove the background of this photo and replace it with something that almost looks like I'm in studio. And I really could have stopped there, but I decided to give myself options. I am going to go as far as to switch up my pose to create something that's more of a lifestyle type of headshot. I'm trying out prompts that would make it appear that I was in action at work or something like that. Next, I'm going to use the spot healing brush again to fix up my manicure. Again, old photo. It had to be done. Lastly, I went into quick actions where there are a few lighting options to help me make those final touches. For DIY headshots, I like how these came out, and they will definitely serve their purpose. Photoshop on the web brings the tools you need to create with precision directly to your browser. Try these tools out for yourself today.